Your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Tasmanian firefighters are also on the ground in New South Wales, with more on the way. 26 firefighters have been deployed to battle blazes at Glen Innes. 3 of the firefighters performed CPR and provided burns treatment to a woman before evacuating her. Sadly, she couldn't be saved.
They're really doing it tough up there and they're looking for relief. Tomorrow we will be sending another 26 firefighters and we'll have another embedded liaison person in their headquarters area.
Earlier this year, New South Wales sent around 700 personnel to help during Tasmania's bushfire emergency. To the day's other news now, and there's been a development in the alleged murder of 71-year-old Veronica Korostofine, whose body was found in her South Launceston home. Police have now confirmed they've charged her daughter with murder, and she'll be extradited to face court in Tasmania. Our reporter Tom Johnson has more.
Veronica Korostofine was found dead inside her Keene Street home just over a week ago. Police now allege she was killed by her daughter some 3 weeks earlier, with her body left on a bed. The accused is 46-year-old Natalie Ma, who police say had moved in with her mother 2 months earlier. Police will now extradite Miss Ma from Perth after she was arrested by Western Australia Police and faced court there late yesterday. She'll appear in a Launceston court on Wednesday. The case shocked residents on the South Launceston street, with a neighbour describing Miss Korostofine as polite and reserved. No details have been released on the cause of her death, except that no weapon was used. It's likely Miss Ma will be extradited to Tasmania early next week.
A 16-year-old boy and 27-year-old man have been charged following an evade incident at Risdon Vale yesterday, which saw a police officer struck by a stolen vehicle. The teenager from Gagebrook has been charged with stealing a motor vehicle, among other offences. His alleged accomplice is also facing a raft of charges, including evade and resist police, criminal code assault and driving whilst disqualified. The injured police officer was treated at the Royal Hobart Hospital, but wasn't admitted. Tonight we take you on a special tour inside some of Tasmania's most unique and creatively designed buildings. This year's Open House Hobart showcasing a range of properties from modern conversions to hidden retro gems.
An architectural snapshot in time, looking out across the state's capital. This quirky 1978 Fort Nelson property, exhibiting some of the era's most fashionable features, and is one of around 80 buildings on display in the 7th annual Open House Hobart.
I think that it's getting to see inside. It gives you an appreciation and a deeper understanding of the value of the architecture.
Known as a Dorney House, named after Australian architect Esmond Dorney, who also designed this Lenna Valley home in 1958. Still equipped today, nearly 60 years later, with the original carpet, lighting fixtures and furniture pieces. A similar retro flashback showcased in this mid-century rental house at the Riverfront Motel in Rosetta.
So we've just really kept it minimal, just with these, furniture pieces that we've used, which themselves are, quite mid-century in that they're low and long. The colours are sort of pastel shades, which are, they're not busy.
Mixing old with the new also on the tour's itinerary, with this 19th century barn in Hobart CBD converted to a cosy modern hub. The public examining the original roof detailing paired with contemporary elements. Another conversion also catching the eye of viewers, this bold glass conservatory and kitchen addition, bringing the outside in to this grand Mount Stewart house.
A strong part of the client's desire for this project was to connect to their established gardens and to maintain a view of the city, and also to be able to see the sky at all times.
The tour continues tomorrow, with the doors to Government House, the Treasury Building and properties in the Huon Valley open to the public. Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's tourism operators have been recognised on a state level at the industry's annual awards, which showcase the best experiences and produce we have to offer.
Well, we opened 4 years ago, and even in those 4 years we've gone from an industry which was a burgeoning food tourism destination to being just the place to go, the hot destination.
They're looking to get out of their normal days, to get out into to the wilderness, into the trees, into the ocean, and to see something they can't do at home.
The award for the major tourist attraction was taken out by Port Arthur Historic Site, All gold winners will represent Tasmania at the National Awards next year. A pair of baby Tasmanian Devils has captured the hearts of those caring for them at Bonorong Wildlife Park. They weigh just over 100 grams, but these little warriors are already defying the odds.
She's feisty and fearless. Little Marley is a pocket of energy. This tiny Tassie devil is gearing up for her bottle feed at Bonorong Wildlife Sanctuary, unlike her much more placid sister Phoenix.
We've got very different little personalities. I feel extremely lucky to be able to be helping out with them.
They're not entirely out of the woods just yet, but thanks to their carers' dedication, they're getting stronger every day, now weighing around 130 grams. Sadly though, their life started with tragedy when their mum was hit by a car.
At least someone stopped and checked the pouch, and what that's led to is some endangered species lives hopefully being saved.
This inquisitive, handsome wombat named Comet is also an orphan. He's made this little pouch his home while he grows big and strong enough to venture to the outside world.
It's a tiny little pinky when he first came in, so didn't have any fur, and yeah, you've seen how much he's grown since then.
That story is all too common. Tragically, it's estimated 250 to 500,000 animals are killed on Tasmanian roads every year.
It's about not accepting roadkill as an everyday part of life, and it's about accepting that if we hit an animal, it is partly our fault.
And as the tourism season gets busier, so do our roads. These carers are pleading with drivers to help keep our wildlife safe.
Could I drive a bit earlier so I'm not driving at night time? Can I make sure I don't throw anything out the window that will attract wildlife to the roads?
To stop and check the pouches even if they're sure that the animal has passed away when they've hit it, and also moving the animal off to the side of the road as well.
For more information on becoming a wildlife carer or rescuer, visit the Bonorong website. Louise Hedger, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, it doesn't have big rides, Ferris wheels or even dodgem cars, but the Westbury Show's legacy is so strong, not even rain and wind keeps the punters away.
Welcome to the Westbury Show 1919. Judging by the coats and hats, it must have been a cold day. A century later, not much has changed.
A bit cold, could be warmer, but it's all good.
Some found a way to deal with the drizzle.
Keeps me dry too. It's so bloody hot here that it evaporates water as it hits me.
You might not find spinning rides or sideshow alley here, but it's still a hit with the crowds. Yeah! And it wouldn't be show day without bagging something to take home. Or of course a Dagwood dog. Organisers are hoping to see 4,000 through the gates.
We're very happy with the crowd. It's been a big crowd, and some people are questioning whether it's the biggest crowd, but it's up there with them anyway. So
Westbury boasts the title of Tassie's third oldest show, and after 156 years, the show just keeps rolling on. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's firefighters are using a heated rivalry to prepare ahead of the summer bushfire season. Hundreds of volunteers today took part in the state Firefighting Championships. Despite the fierce competition, organisers say it's all about strengthening ties between brigades.
This weekend we have 39 teams from across the state representing their brigades. Of that there are 19 senior teams over 2 divisions, and what's been very encouraging is we have 20 junior teams in the competition this year.
It's really fun. It's a good environment. It's because it's good for exercise, and also it's really good friendly competition.
The top team is expected to be crowned tomorrow. Richmond Premiership star Basher Hooley has shared the Tigers' grand final success with local fans at a special event at Launceston's Balls and Bumpers. Hooley posed for photos with the Premiership Cup before signing autographs to commemorate the Tigers' second flag in 3 years.
It's always hard to get your hands on this sort of cup, especially that close to a premiership. So for me to be able to get access to it and also to bring it to a great place and to share it with the community, with the fans who mean something very special to the football club.
Hooley says his favourite moment of the grand final win was Trent Cotchin's goal and celebration in the final minutes.
An unbeaten half-century to Corinne Hall wasn't enough to save the Hobart Hurricanes in the Women's Big Bash. The game against the Melbourne Renegades went down to the last ball of the day. The Renegades home by 4 wickets. The Hurricanes looked to the heavens at Junction Oval and they were blessed with a lucky break early on. But a twist of fate soon saw Erin Fazakali depart for 8, caught in the outfield. Heather Knight was next to go for 10. Then the Canes ran into real trouble. Nicola Carey added just a single run, and when Meg Phillips was caught, the Canes were 4 for 40. But that's where things turned around. Fran Wilson and Corinne Hall combined for a 92-run stand featuring 10 boundaries, with Hall posting an unbeaten half-century.
But that's a wonderful 50 for Corinne Hall.
The reply started perfectly.
Is that a nick? It is, and Molyneux's gone for a duck.
Belinda Vacuera would soon strike again with her second scout before the Renegades slumped to 3 for 12. The Hurricanes were looking good, but 75 from Jess Stuffen put the pressure back on, building to a huge final over. The Renegades needed 3 to win. Nicola Carey managed to remove Courtney Webb, caught and bowled, before it all hung on the final delivery of the day. But it was more heartbreak for the Canes as Maitland Brown brushed the ball to the boundary to seal a 4-wicket win. The two sides face off again tomorrow. Meanwhile, Tasmanian trainer Scott Brunton has tasted victory with 5-year-old gelding Mandela Effect taking out race 1 at Flemington. Mandela Effect was the favourite, paying $4.80 for the win.
Good evening. It was a cold morning with showers in most areas today, especially about the west. A high of 13 right across the state. Other centres today, 16 was the top at Friendly Beaches, 12 across Grove, Lowhead and Strawn and 11 at Smithton. On the close-up, low to mid-level cloud over most of Tasmania and completely covering Bass Strait. Further out, areas of low to mid-level cloud lie over Tasmania and Victoria, while far northern Australia has afternoon convective cloud over top. Tomorrow shows a high pressure system over eastern South Australia extending over most of eastern Australia. West to southwesterly winds tomorrow 20 to 30 knots, swells up to 3.5 metres in the west and south and reaching 1.5 metres in the north. A strong wind warning is current for northern coastal waters from Sandy Cape to St Helens Point and for eastern and southern coastal waters from Wineglass Bay to Low Rocky Point. Tomorrow's forecast now 18 and cloudy across Hobart and Richmond, ooze 16. In the north, Launceston reaching 19, looking cloudy about Devonport and Deloraine. A cloudy 16 at Burnie tomorrow, 15 about Strawn and Curry. St Helens 19, Swansea and Whitemark partly cloudy. The UV forecast very high 8s across the state. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now, Monday showers about the west, south and east coast during the morning. Tuesday showers clearing about the northeast in the evening, and Wednesday showers with fresh and gusty west to southwesterly winds. Capital cities, Canberra 21 tomorrow, looking partly cloudy in Perth and 35 in Darwin. And looking at current temperatures, Hobart 14, Launceston mostly cloudy and Devonport partly cloudy. That's all in weather tonight. Back to you, Rach.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Jackie. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night. Bye for now.